we'll just introduce our first speaker. So it's a joint presentation, but only one speaker. So we have Rudolf and Max over there.
Yes.
Rudolf Tim here from Zagreb in Croatia. And tell us about save our existing living trees. So over to you.
Good day everyone, I'm very glad that I can be here today with you and to discuss a significant topic, how to save our existing living urban trees and to show you how we do it. My name is Tim Rudolf and I am CEO of Herbafertil. Today we are going to talk about why urban trees need our help, to present some of urban forestry challenges that we find most common in our niche of work, show you who we are, what we do, and to briefly show you what are we planning for future in our work. So, briefly about us, Herbafertil was established in 1994 and since has been successfully resolving issues in the field of urban forestry and implementing innovations in urban forestry and horticulture. And in 2013 we patented Herbafertil, the soil enrichment substrate. That is our solution for saving trees. Here, I think that we do not need to talk about why urban trees need our help, but to point out the value and benefits of trees in the urban environment, but say that these trees nowadays more than ever really need our help. In our urban park forest, Maksimir in Zagreb, Croatia, like in all cities in Europe, trees, ancient trees, veteran trees, and middle-aged trees are slowly dying. This process is characteristic for a large number of urban trees in cities and is progressing every year. And that progressing, you can see as more and more dry branches appear in the crowns of trees every year. Leaves are impacted with pests, and the leaves are prematurely falling down in autumn. And you can see in plain sight that the vitality of trees is decreasing. To point out, I'm not going to read every one of these challenges, but to point out a few of them, urban trees grow in difficult conditions. Their constant exposure to pollutants, high temperatures, drought and flooding that are extreme in the last few years, and the limited space they have to grow their roots increases capability to insects and diseases. And upon that, Europe prohibits every year more and more successful insecticides and pesticides, and trees are just left to themselves without chemical help against the dangerous pests. So, where to start? Nowadays, where we are talking about planting of millions of young trees to protect us from climate changes, but the real effort in our fight against climate changes must be preserving our existing urban trees from dying. As Clive said on the first day of this meeting, you cannot just replace 100-year-old tree, and replacing them one for one old for one young tree is just not enough. Today, persons in charge of for tree health in urban areas are mostly arborists. And the primary measure for bringing back vitality is cutting the branches of low vitality tree. And that is what we call surgical help. It is okay, but in every medical literature you can read that prevention is better and costs less than surgery. So, what will we do to prevent and to slow down side effects of urban forestry challenges on trees' health? I firstly need to say and determine some commonly unknown facts. First, trees in urban areas are commonly suffering from compacted soil and drought. In our researches, we have noticed that after a rain, even a heavy rain, because of compacted soil, only a few centimeters of upper soil level is wet and all soil in depth is dry. And the roots of trees remain dry even after rain falls. Then the roots of urban trees could not spread easily in compacted soil. Compacted soil is not a live soil. It is soil without a microbiome, and in such conditions, soil without organic matter and without earthworms is too compacted for root spreading. And you can see that as trees in urban areas have a really smaller root ball in comparison with the same species that live in forests. Then the roots of trees in compacted soil could not easily exchange the gases. And that means that such conditions allows rotting of roots and spreading the pathogenic fungi. And the results of that are visible in more and more dry branches caused by fungus diseases. And one problem that is caused by humans is that the trees in cities are regularly planted too deep. Today we are most common substrate for planting trees is peat substrate. And when we plant a tree in peat substrate, it sinks down after a few months below the surrounding soil. And nobody wants to see holes in park. So what we do is just cover that soil to be plain again. And what we do is we cover root crown with dirt. We should ensure that root crown is dry and exposed to air to prolong the life of the tree. And that is why we recommend planting a tree on a half mound when planting with peat substrate, so that the tree could level itself with surrounding soil in time. Well, as I mentioned earlier, we developed Herbafertil and patented it in 2013, and which is by now proven successfully in recovering low vitality trees. About our solution, Herbafertil improves the health and vitality of trees through the soil and roots. It stimulates the tree to develop new root mass under optimized aerobic conditions. Because valuable trees in poor condition that have started to show dry branches, they have to be pruned. It is primarily measured in a regeneration process, but they also have to receive enhancer to restore roots' ability to supply tree branches with water and nutrients. Applying Herbafertil in the form of cylindrical UT bags should be performed in the zone where the roots are densest, and that is in the section up to 2/3 of projection of crown radius, and that allows us to formate a new root mass that is called a mouth of the tree. Since there is not enough moisture in this zone to support the rapid growth and development of new young roots, it is necessary to ensure additional irrigation of installed bags. And that is why we are developing ecological irrigation with Professor Tikuc from Faculty of Forestry in Zagreb. If you are interested in that topic, you can ask me later. Here you can see what the fully developed mouth of the tree looks like. One Herbafertil bag produces 6 to 7 kilos of new young root mass, thus stimulating healthy tree growth. I will show you a few examples. Example one is from Osijek, Croatia, where we were called to help 107 trees that were planted in May 2017. You can see on the picture how the trees look like in spring 2020. The process of revitalization started in March, and the first results could be seen in September 2020. As you can see on the pictures, we successfully developed mouth of the tree and saved all the trees that were in really bad shape. I will show you some more pictures of our work, but I would like to say that trees that begin to show signs of drying and significant drop in vitality, we need to find what is the problem for that trees. First, what we do is carefully remove excess earth material around the collar of the tree, because that is the most common problem. If the root collar is not covered with excess soil, then usually the problem is with the construction works that were performed in the vicinity of the tree, and that construction works significantly damage the roots. If that is not the problem, another certain cause can be highly compacted soil that prevents gas exchange in the root system. But regardless of the reason, we are able to regenerate the tree and return its previous vitality. And I need to say that regeneration of the tree that starts with Herbafertil should continue with proper and professional pruning of the crown, and if necessary, of course, with endotherapy. Crown pruning is of real importance for returning tree's vitality, as it stimulates the tree to grow, to produce new branches, new leaves. However, unless we straighten the root system of the tree, that can cause excessive exhaustion of the roots and dry out the pruned tree or slow its regeneration. So, let me show you the photos of what I just described to you. Our second example is in Zagreb, Croatia. I would like to show you how we use Herbafertil in regeneration of trees with damaged bark and roots due to construction. You can see how trees and their trunk and their roots were damaged during the construction works. Here you can see how we approach those trees during implementing Herbafertil. Well, work is going on, and we are saving those trees in combination with ecological irrigation, and that is how our finished work look like. But because of compacted soil, we sometimes must not just penetrate that soil, but even cut through the concrete to set the tree free. Let me tell you briefly one more story about revitalization of veteran trees. This story starts with oak 600 years old in Zagreb. By applying Herbafertil for the first time, we can achieve that the root of old trees, which is slowly losing vitality and drying, gains new, young strength and vitality, and the whole tree begins to restore the damaged vitality. Another interesting example is in Split, where we saved 120-year-old high-oak mulberry tree. And we are very proud of the efficiency report from here, from Belgrade, Serbia, where we saved a bunch of really valuable and important trees for the city. So that is why Croatian Agricultural Association recommends straightening tree roots with Herbafertil in combination with crown pruning. And briefly about a new project of ours, we are developing a new approach to afforestation. We are developing Herbafertil reforest. We are testing the use of Herbafertil in food growing business, maintenance of tree lines in cities with Herbafertil, addition and dosing of active substances via Herbafertil, and that is what we are doing with our partners, Faculty of Forestry in Zagreb, the Croatian Agricultural Association, and other private companies. And if you are interested and would like to get involved, feel free to contact us, and we are available for any additional information. Thank you all for listening.